The death of love, the passage to the absence of illusion. Sariputra was one of the closest disciples of the Buddha. One day he came to the Buddha before he was leaving on a pilgrimage to bring the Dharma teachings to the world. And the Buddha gave him blessings and sent him on his way. But after Sariputra had departed, one of the other monks came to the Buddha and told him that he had asked Sariputra where he was going, and that Sariputra had ignored him and roughly shoved him aside so that he fell over. So the Buddha responded, saying, Sariputra must not have travelled very far. And he called a novice monk to him, asking him to go to find Sariputra and bring him back. He sent a message out to all the monks that they should gather that evening in the Dharma hall. Sariputra indeed returned to the monastery, and that evening, when all the monks were gathered and the Buddha was seated, he called Sariputra to him and said, one of our brothers has said that you ignored him and roughly shoved him aside. What explanation have you for this? Sariputra bowed low to the Buddha and then turned to the gathering of monks and bowed to them also. And then he said, Lord Buddha, if a monk does not contemplate the body in the body and is mindful of the actions of the body, that monk may ignore another and shove him over. I am not such a monk. 14 years ago, when you gave a teaching to Bhikkhu Rahala, you told him that he must learn to become like the earth, the water, the air, and fire. I learned this lesson, Lord Buddha. I have become the earth that takes whatever comes into it without judgment, whether it be the blossoms of the trees, the nectar from the fruit, the decomposing corpse of a body, the vomit of a drunk. If a monk does not contemplate the body in the body and is not mindful of the actions of that body, he could ignore another and knock him down. Lord Buddha, I have become like the water. The water takes anything unto itself. It purifies, whether it be the nectar or the toxic materials of life. If a monk does contemplate the body in the body and be mindful of the actions of the body. That monk could ignore another and knock him down. Lord Buddha, I have become like the air. All that rises into it, it takes unto itself, disperses it in all directions, transforms it in all ways. Lord Buddha, I am the air. Lord Buddha, I have become like the fire that consumes all without discrimination, completely annihilating it, obliterating it. Anything that fire takes into itself becomes the fire. Lord Buddha, I am that fire. If a monk does not contemplate the body in the body and is mindful of the actions of the body, it could ignore another monk and knock him down. Lord Buddha, I am not that monk. The monk who had accused Sariputra of his actions stood up with tears flowing down his cheeks and bowing to Lord Buddha and the throng of monks. He apologized. I have broken the precepts. I vow to henceforth follow. What does this story mean for us? In this passage that lies between the death of love and the absence of illusion. Earth, water, air, and fire. Are we not all of these? Are we not this earth? Are we not the air that fills our being and surrounds all things? Are we not the water, filled with water, an ocean of water? Are we not the fire? That anything that comes into our aegis is burned, annihilated, not just transformed, like is the earth, the air, and the water. Fire destroys. Was it not a fire that brought you here? Was it not the fire in your belly that has brought you to this place? It consumed us, and it consumes all things. What does this story mean? In the passage that lies between the death of love and the absence of illusion.